Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of 4400, Season 1, Episode 7. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows as well as scripted shows. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. So we don't have any comments from last week, last episode, so we just gonna jump right on it. Dr. Andre, he is sick as a dog. And he hasn't been feeling well since he returned to that doggone crazy hospital that they was at. He doesn't want to risk telling anybody that is in charge because he don't want to be sent to that said facility. He don't want them poking and prying and experimenting on him. And I don't blame him. Shanice, she is still mad because you put my child in danger for this little admission excursion y'all got going on. But when she come in, she's like, "Ooh, you looking kind of sick." And I was confused. I was like, I thought you could heal people, but can you not heal yourself? But we're going to get to that in a little bit. She's like, "Look here." She went into straight mama mode. "Get into bed. I'm going to get you some soup and some electrolytes. But you and LaDonna, I'm not done with y'all. We're going to have a good talk about y'all putting my child in harm's way. But right now, I got to make sure your tail ain't sick because I'm kind of feeling you right now. And I know you feeling me. I'm liking them to get together, even though she's still technically married because she probably would have been considered, they could have considered her legally dead after so many years. But in her mind, she's still in love with Logan. And that was just her husband a few days ago. But this thing she got with Dr. Andre is something that she cannot explain. But yes, I am here for it. Yes. So Claudette, she does not want to depend on the government in helping her out in any sort of way. She was used to that when she was dealing with her husband, and we're gonna get to that man in a little bit. Like for her livelihood. So Jarrell helps her get a job. She gets a job bartending. Well, she was like doing cleanup and stuff like that, but like the actual bartender, he was too busy like not paying attention to customers. And she was like, "Hey, y'all ever had?" They was like, "Can we get I think a gin and tonic?" She said, "No." Was it a gin? Was it a gin and tonic or something? She's like, "Y'all ever had gin and tin?" They was like, "Oh, girl, what is that?" So we get a flashback to her talking to her friends back in the day about the civil rights movement and how they should be doing more. And oh, it's so good that you got a husband that's on there front line. She's like, yeah, it's good. But she want to be out here on the front line too. But you got to remember, this is like what, the 50s, 40, 50, 60s, 40, 50, 60s. They wasn't really trying to have women on the front line like that for real, for real. Y'all stay in the back. Y'all do the sit-ins and stuff like that. Let us men be out here, working on the front line. It's like, you got these pictures out. You need to be putting these pictures out so people can see what's going on. She's like, "Y'all hush now." She didn't say it, but she's like, "I don't want my husband hearing what y'all talking about. Because he wants us women folks to be in the back while the men folks get things done." I was like, yeah, as soon as I seen her husband, I was like, "Yeah, you gonna be some mess." I already know it. So Dr. Andre, he is in his state of delirious right now, fever, all that stuff, feeling horrible. When I tell you, being sick, I am a horrible person because after a while I start to get delirious and I just be just talking. That happened like several times. I was laying on the couch and my cousins was there and I was just like rambling about nonsense. Cause like one, I'm mad that I'm sick. I feel bad because I'm sick. And I just want to get up and do something other than lay here, but my body will not let me do that. So as he's wandering downstairs trying to look for the ice machine to cool himself down, one of the guards was gonna be all, "I thought you was a doctor. You can't heal yourself." I was like, he can heal himself, but that's another story. And Andre loses his balance and like falls on the dude. The dude like pushes him back, but like when he pushes him back, dude start doggone the arm starts to doing some of this and moving in ways that your arm is not supposed to move. And he ends up falling down the stairs, and then Andre starts feeling better. He was like, hmm. Now, when Andre first got these powers, episode 5, I believe it was, where he touched that guard at the hospital, the dude got better. I was like, okay, isn't that something? Dr. Andre, you were a doctor, and you can out here just touch people by healing them? But then we find out a little bit more. He relayed this information to Shanice, how he wasn't feeling good, and how when he touched the guard start doggone it, you know, arms twisting and maneuvering like it's not supposed to twist and maneuver, and he instantly felt better. So he has a theory that when he heals someone, he gets physically sick, and he cannot get better until he touches and hurts somebody else. I was like, what kind of power is this? Explain, people who abducted them and gave them these powers. What kind of mess is this? I can heal folks, but if I do that, I'm going to get sick. In order for me not to be sick, I got to hurt somebody else. Now, I remember in the original 4400, there was, I think it was a nurse. And he was up there healing babies who like had like almost no chance of living. But the more he healed people, the sicker he got. But didn't turn out the doggone he was over in some part of Africa. He was out here putting people in the arms of angels. So it was like, you was out here doing all this mess before you got captured. Now you're out here saving babies' lives. How do we feel about this? He was just, I'm healing babies, but I'm slowly deteriorating my body myself. With Dr. Andre, it's like, okay, I can heal you. I'll be sick, but I gotta go touch somebody else and make them sick. I was like, like dominoes almost. Bam, you better. I'm sick. Bam, you sick. Okay, can I touch you again and make you better sick? Then touch somebody else. I got to keep on doing this. I was like, now you doggone it. You got to be wearing gloves like Rogue from the X-Men at this point. That's what you got to be doing. But I'm like, is it only effective to like the non-returnees? What is it? I have questions. I also want to know why Dr. Andre, Shanice, and Claudette thought it was a good idea to test their theory just out in the open. I'm like, granted, y'all don't know that there is cameras everywhere and that people have camera phones everywhere, ready to go record something and put it out here on social media. Y'all already got a target on y'all back, and people already think that y'all lizard people and whatnot. Maybe we shouldn't be just doing this out in open. Maybe we should be doing this at, Claudette's house. With the blinds closed, the curtains closed, and doors locked. Maybe we should be doing this. But they tested their theory. Dr. Andre, he can't cut Shanice because, he's feeling her and all that stuff. So Claudia, give me that doggone box cutter. Cut Shanice. Dr. Andre touches her arm. He feels bad for a minute. She's healed. Then, doggone it, he has to touch Claudette, but she can heal on her own. It's like, okay, that theory works out. What we gonna do with this now? That's what I want to know. But I'm happy Dr. Andre apologized to Shanice about, involving Mariah in the heist they had to get Mildred and Noah out. Where it's like, Mildred's out. Okay, that's good. Where Noah at? When we gonna get Noah out? I know there's plenty of other people in there, but we didn't get to know them. We got to know Mildred and we got to know Noah. We want everybody out, but these two specifically. But Mildred's out, let's bring Noah out. He tells Shanice that he cares for her and that he doesn't want to share her with anybody, even her subconscious, because she's like, are we good? Have you been, avoiding me because I was mad at you about y'all putting my daughter in harm's way with that heist? Or it's because you heard me call Logan's name while I was asleep? And he was like, he cares for her, but he don't want to share her. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was here for it. And I don't know why. Because I'm like, she married. Technically, she's not. But in her mind, she is. And she still loves her husband. But for whatever reason, she got this connection to Dr. Andre. And she said she cares for him too. And I was not here for her taking his jacket off. I was like, "Oh, we're doing this. This is what we're doing. We're taking his jacket off, and we're about to remove the suspenders as well." Oh, okay. It seems like everybody was hooking up. We got Dr. Andre and Shanice over hooking up. We already seen like Jarrell was looking at Claudette like, "Hey, boo, hey." She was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And next thing you know, these two were kissing. Then Keisha and IT lady, whose name always escapes me, they kissing. She is not cheating because she broke up with her girlfriend, which I am so happy about. Let's get into that. Okay, Keisha and girlfriend, whose name escaped, what's her name? Jess. They were out having dinner, and Jess get to calling the returnees, monsters, and she was like, "Yeah, monsters." She was like, "You don't know them like that." I'm like, I'm with Keisha on this one. You got these people in prison, caged like animals, poking and prodding on them. How else do you expect them to act? You think they're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, government people, thank you so much for having me locked in here against my will and poking and prodding on me. I cannot thank you enough." Is that how they're supposed to react? Because they went from "I've been abducted by whatever" from a certain period of time, thrust back into 2021, locked up in hotel. Now I'm locked up being experimented on. Of course they're gonna be angry. Of course they're gonna lash out. When you treat somebody, if you cage people up and treat them like animals, they gonna start acting like animals. I'm glad that they broke up. I'm glad Keisha did not fight for that relationship. So we found out that the government wants the 4400 to sign like a contract if they go stay at the hotel. And Shanice, she looked over the contract. She's like, these people would not be able to understand this contract. It's like, okay, you gonna take a left on the beach, and when you go about doggone it 4 or 5 feet, you gonna be on the moon. Once you circle the moon one full time, you in the middle of the ocean with your foot in your hand, and your hand is your foot. As you walking, you gonna turn into a butterfly and then back into yourself. See how that don't make no sense? That's how that contract was going on. Just a whole bunch of jibber jabber. What it breaks down to is that with signing that contract, the 4400 will be under a conservatorship. It's what Britney Spears had been under for like the past decade or so, where her daddy was in charge of everything she did. She want to get on social media, I believe. He was in charge of that. Whatever she did business wise, he was in charge of that. He was responsible for all her money. She was basically a child. And this is what the government got going on with a little help with Isaiah. I'm like, Isaiah is starting to turn into what he was always accusing his daddy of. If he got his hands in this to where, they taking over the people's money, like you was mad that your daddy was out here rolling in Rolls Royces and Porsches and most of the congregation was living doggone paycheck to paycheck. But now you seem like you didn't flip. Yeah. We see the day that Claudette went missing. She was doggone tired of doing all these sit-ins and she was ready to fight back. She was like, we need to doggone show them people we about that life. And, we gonna fight back. And the people was like, yes, we should do that. And he was like, I'm sorry that my wife was speaking out of turn. I was like, no, she said, we here for that. It was his ego. Because the people were listening to a woman, his wife at that. Y'all supposed to be listening to me because he's the man. So you're not supposed to be listening to a woman's opinion. He found that as disrespect. So he was like, I'm going to send you to a place for women like you who have these delusions. I'm like, so, which was so messed up. Like, the way they thought of woman's mind because she spoke her mind, now she crazy. So, the people with the butterfly nets and the jackets to make you hug yourself, they come rolling up. So she like locks herself inside of her green room, ends up cutting her leg, and we see this is the day where she got taken away. Cause when they bust in, she gone. I was like, he trash. Like hot garbage in the middle of the summer trash. Yeah. So that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day for $4.99. Make sure your notifications are on. So my beautiful face puts a video. You can click on it, you can like it, you can share with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.